A very good morning to class 11 boys. I hope you are safe, secure. Now, till now we have done lot many journal entries. Today we will do the adjusting entry, or in our other name we call it closing entries. Basically we call it adjusting entries. So I hope whatever we done so far, the entries regarding purchase, sales, goods sold on profit, discount, trade discount, you all understand that? So it's my humble request to you, please practice the previous question first. Means आप पहले जो entries मैंने कराई है उन्हीं को दोबारा recall करिए. Is that clear? Now, moving further, we are dealing in adjusting entries. The other name of adjusting entry is closing entry. It means इसको हम कब करते हैं? When we close the close the books or at the end of the year. ये generally कब होती हैं? At the end of the year. So these are the entries which are generally take place at the end of the year. साल के end में जो होती हैं. Means at the end of financial year. और financial year कब end होता है? On 31st March. Okay, the business happy new year start from 1st April ends on 31st March. I'm not talking about the accounting year. I'm talking about the financial year. Okay. Now the first thing is when we do adjusting entry, note down the first one is the first one we do entry of closing stock. You know what is closing stock? The stock which remain unsold. जो stock अभी बिकना इस साल नहीं बिका. It can be used next year. So what is closing stock? The stock which is left unsold this year. And closing stock of different types. The closing stock of raw material, closing stock of unfinished goods, closing stock of finished goods. Now what is closing stock of raw material? Suppose you are dealing in this marker. आप ये marker बना रहे हैं. So you need a raw material, you need the this fiber body, plastic body. Okay, you need the plastic of all these things. Then you need the fiber. Now, अगर आप पे ये अलग-अलग पड़ा है, तो we call it raw material. आपके मार्कर आधे बन चुके हैं, अभी लेबलिंग नहीं हुई है, we call it semi finish. मार्कर बन के तैयार है, लेकिन अभी बिके नहीं है, we call it finished goods. So means whatever the closing stock refer for all these, the closing stock of raw material, closing stock of unfinished goods and closing stock of finished goods. Means वो stock जो इस साल यूज नहीं हुआ, तो आप उसको फेंक तो नहीं दोगे. It can be utilized next year. So what do your entry take place regarding closing stock? So note down please. The entry is closing stock account debit. Closing stock account debit to trading account. To trading account. Now this trading account we will study. Okay, when we do the final accounts, trading in PL account. तो ये अभी हमारे काम का नहीं है, हम इसको आगे चैप्टर में पढ़ना है. But you understand that why closing stock? What is the entry regarding closing stock? Because this is a main important part. When we prepare trading account, हमें तब मालूम चलेगा कि हमने closing stock को transfer क्यों किया था. Only this purpose you note down the entry being closing stock transfer to trading account. Being closing stock transfer to being closing stock transfer to trading account to trading account. This part is clear. Now one more request. Whenever you prepare journal entries, prepare in a particular format, which I told you: date, particular, the column of ledger folio, debit and credit. Now it's increases your habit, and that's important one, because entries without the proper headings or entry without proper transactions or proper format is not valid. So you need to prepare with the proper format. Is that clear? So first is date, particular, ledger folio, debit and credit. Now the first entry regarding closing stock is closing stock account debit to trading account, and the narration take place being closing stock transfer to trading account. Okay, I hope this part is clear. Next entry regarding adjusting entry is there are total about 8 closing entries are there, or 8 adjusting entries are there. We already done the first one. The second one is I need to make the format first so that you can able to understand how we prepare the format. First is date, like this. Here we write particular. Here we mention LF, entry transfer to which ledger. Here we write debit and credit. So these are 5 rows we need to prepare. The second entry is regarding outstanding expenses. Entry regarding outstanding, any outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses. Entry regarding outstanding expenses. You know that outstanding expenses are those expenses which are not paid yet, जिसको हमने अभी तक पे नहीं किया है. Expenses which are not paid yet. Is it clear? So outstanding is a interpersonal account. It's a part of personal account, and expense is a nominal account. Is it clear? So what do you prepare? What's how we generalize the transaction? Entry regarding outstanding expenses, whether it's outstanding wages, whether it's outstanding interest, whether it's outstanding salaries. All the entries are same, but need to identify what is outstanding. Outstanding means वो expenses जो हमने अभी तक पे नहीं किए हैं पर हमें पे कर देने चाहिए. Suppose we have to pay salary, हमें सैलरी पे करनी थी लेकिन हमने किसको सैलरी पे नहीं की. We write outstanding salary. तो entry take place here. We write expenses account debit, expenses account debit to outstanding expense account, to outstanding expenses account. Being expenses not paid yet, being expenses not paid yet, or simply write being expenses outstanding. Being expenses outstanding. So here write the amount over here. Expenses account debit to outstanding expense account. Similarly, if you say if there is outstanding wages, so you can write and they say instead of outstanding expenses, they say outstanding wages or outstanding salaries. So you write wages account debit to outstanding wages account. You write wages account debit to outstanding wages account. Now, what did transaction take place? Expenses which is not paid yet, वो खर्चे जो आपने अभी तक पे नहीं किए. Now, it's a liability. It's a liability as well as expenses. So, whenever expenses increases, normal rule says that whenever expenses increases, it's debited. So, we write expenses account debit or wages account debit because हमारा खर्चा बढ़ रहा है. And we not paid the wages yet. हमने अभी आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंस पे नहीं किए तो इट्स अ लायबिलिटी. थिंक दैट इट्स अ लायबिलिटी. व्हेनेवर लायबिलिटी इंक्रीजेस इट शुड बी क्रेडिटेड. ये हमारी लायबिलिटी है क्योंकि हमने अभी तक पे नहीं किया. तो व्हेनेवर लायबिलिटी इंक्रीजेस इट्स नीड टू बी credited. What we write? We write wages account debit to outstanding wages account because it's a liability first. And the liability which is not paid yet, जो liability हमने अभी तक पे नहीं की, it increases. Whenever liability increases, it should be credited. I hope this part is clear. So whenever expenses increases, it need to be debited. And whenever liability increases, it need to be credited. So we write mention here being outstanding wages not paid yet. Yeah, being wages not paid yet, or yeah, being expenses not paid yet. So this is the second part. We call it outstanding wages account. Okay, next part is similarly whenever outstanding expenses here. Similar prepaid expenses. I think we already done it before also, but take a quick revision on this part. Prepaid. Third one is prepaid. Now prepaid means prepaid expenses. Any expenses which we paid in advance are called prepaid. कोई भी खर्चा अगर हम उसको एडवांस में पे कर देते हैं हम बोलते हैं prepaid. That's a prepaid. We pay already. We pay the interest already. या we pay the rent in advance. हम जनरली रेंट एडवांस में पे कर देते हैं. वी कॉल इट प्रीपेड. सिमिलरली जब आप मोबाइल रिचार्ज कराते जाते हो द टू टर्म्स आर देयर, प्रीपेड एंड पोस्टपेड. प्रीपेड मींस यू पेड इन एडवांस एंड देन यू ठीक है यू यूज द कॉलिंग फैसिलिटी और नेट फैसिलिटी. पोस्टपेड में क्या होता है व्हेन यू यूज उसके बाद आपके पास बिल आता है, दैट टर्म इज कॉल्ड पोस्टपेड. तो हियर वी आर स्टडीइंग अबाउट द प्रीपेड. एनी एक्सपेंसेस वी पेड इन एडवांस, जो खर्चा अभी नहीं था लेकिन नेक्स्ट मंथ था या आफ्टर 2 months था, आपने उसके लिए पैसा एडवांस में पे कर दिया. मींस यू पे द एक्सपेंसेस इन एडवांस. इज इट क्लियर? तो व्हाट विल द एंट्री टेक प्लेस? एनी एक्सपेंसेस वी पेड इन एडवांस, इट्स अ एसेट. एनी एक्सपेंसेस वी पेड इन एडवांस, प्लीज नोट डाउन दिस सम. कोई भी खर्चा अगर हम एडवांस में पे करते हैं वो हमारे एसेट बन जाता है. नाउ वी कैन यूज इट. Any expenses we paid in advance is an asset. Any expenses we not paid yet, outstanding, is a liability. So any expenses we paid in advance, it's an asset. So it can be used for anything: prepaid rent, prepaid insurance, prepaid we write prepaid rent, prepaid insurance, prepaid salary, for whatever. The entry take place, prepaid rent account debit, then the transaction take place, prepaid rent account debit to rent account, prepaid rent account debit to rent account. The transaction take place, prepaid prepaid, अगर something we are paying for rent, तो we write prepaid rent account debit to rent account. If we say prepaid expenses, तो simply write prepaid expense account debit to expenses account for anything. If it's for prepaid salary, we write prepaid salary account debit to salary account. If it's for prepaid wages, we write prepaid wages account debit to wages account. Now, why the entry take place like this? Because any expense we paid in advance, it's an asset. Whenever asset increases, it's your debited. जब भी हमारी asset बढ़ती है, it's debited. We write like this: amount will be posted over here, being expenses paid in advance. We write being expenses paid in advance. I told you, prepaid expense is an asset. Whenever asset increases, it needs to be debited. We write prepaid expense account debit to expense account. The same transaction take place for prepaid salary. We write prepaid salary account debit to salary account. If we pay rent in advance, we write prepaid rent account debit to rent account. Similarly, for prepaid wages, we write prepaid wages account debit to wages account. Is that clear? We have 3 adjusting entries. The first one is closing stock. Second one is outstanding expenses. Third one is prepaid expenses. Fourth adjusting entry is depreciation on machinery. हम पहले कर चुके हैं इसको. Depreciation is an expense for us. It decreases the value of assets. Now suppose they say depreciation is the fourth one. Depreciation on assets. On any assets, whether it's a furniture, whether it's machinery, whether it's assets. Depreciation asset means for any non-current assets. जो भी हमारी non-current asset है apart from land, क्योंकि land generally क्या होता है? Appreciate होता है. It's not depreciate. Land हमारा क्या होता है? Land and building generally appreciate होती हैं. Okay, rest of the apart from land and building, all the other assets will depreciate. आपने मशीनरी खरीदी, ठीक है, 1 साल बाद उसकी वैल्यू कम हो जाएगी because we use it. और टाइम फैक्टर इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि हमने कितना टाइम इसको यूज कर लिया है. Is it clear? So we write depreciation on asset. Depreciation on asset is an expense for us. Okay, and it decreases the value of asset. So we write the entry depreciation on assets account debit. Depreciation on assets account debit to assets account. Depreciation on assets account debit to assets account, being depreciation charge on assets, being depreciation charge on assets, being depreciation charge on assets. जो आपका depreciation है वो assets में से charge हो गया. तो we write depreciation on assets account debit to assets account. Now check here, why depreciation on asset is an expense. All expenses are debited, and when depreciation charge on particular asset, your value of asset decreases. Or whenever asset decreases, it's always credited. Good. Now similarly, if we say depreciation charge on machinery, instead of depreciation charge on asset, if I say depreciation charge on machinery, now depreciation will be charged at the same at the fixed rate. It will be 10%, it will be 20%. Means whatever the firm decide how you utilize this machinery. आपने मशीनरी को कितना यूज किया और कैसे यूज किया. Now understand this term. Suppose you're charging depreciation machinery, they say 10,000. The machinery cost was 1 lakh. Machinery cost was, अगर machinery cost हम 1 लाख मान लें, the cost of machinery is 1 lakh. इसमें depreciation charge हुआ है 10%. तो what is that 10% of 1 lakh? is 10,000. Now this machinery after 1 year, आपने इसको 1 साल पहले जब मशीनरी खरीदा था, इसकी वैल्यू थी 1 लाख. आफ्टर ठीक है यूज ऑफ 1 ईयर, आपने इसको 1 साल यूज किया, इसमें 10% डेप्रिशिएशन लग गया. तो बोलिए 10% of 1 lakh is 10,000. If you utilize this machinery for whole year, डेप्रिशिएशन कितना लग गया 10,000, तो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू नाउ इज 90,000। तो वैल्यू कितनी कम हो गई है, एसेट की वैल्यू कितनी कम हो गई है इस पर्टिकुलर मशीनरी की 10,000, बिकॉज ईयर बिफोर द कॉस्ट ऑफ दिस मशीनरी इज 1 लाख, आफ्टर 1 ईयर इसमें 10,000 का डेप्रिशिएशन लग गया। इज इट क्लियर? तो व्हाट इज द न्यू वैल्यू नाउ, द न्यू वैल्यू ऑफ मशीनरी इज 90,000। इज इट क्लियर? तो वी राइट हियर instead of depreciation asset we write then depreciation machinery account debit, depreciation on machinery account debit, asset हमें given है, कौन सी asset है, machinery, तो we write depreciation machinery account debit to machinery account, and suppose the amount is 10,000, we write 10,000 being depreciation charge on assets, we write being depreciation charge on assets, here we write being depreciation charge on machinery, being depreciation charge on machinery. I hope this part is clear. What does the entry take place? So we have done 4 adjusting entries. This part is clear. Okay, please note down depreciation on machinery. Next is 5th one is accrued income. We write accrued income. 5th one. Income due but not received. Accrued means the income which is due, आपने कमा चुके हो लेकिन मिला नहीं. It's commonly occur in business. We write 5th one is accrued income. 5th, accrued income. Now what is accrued income? Income due but not received. Accrued means the income which is due but you not collected yet. ओके, इट्स नॉट कलेक्टेड हियर। आपकी इनकम आप कमा चुके हो, आपने कोई काम कर लिया है, ठीक है, आपने कुछ सप्लाई कर चुके हो लेकिन उसकी आपको इनकम अभी तक नहीं मिली है, दैट टर्म इज कॉल्ड एक्रूड इनकम। द वर्ड कॉल्ड एक्रूड, तो मींस नोट डाउन इनकम ड्यू बट नॉट रिसीव, वी कॉल इट इनकम ड्यू बट नॉट रिसीव्ड। दैट इनकम इज इनकम ड्यू बट नॉट रिसीव्ड। आप इनकम कमा चुके हो लेकिन यू नॉट रिसीव यर, so that's why you call income due but not received. Okay, similarly call suppose आपको इंटरेस्ट मिलना चाहिए था लेकिन अभी तक नहीं मिला, we call it accrued interest. आपका इंटरेस्ट ड्यू है, आपको मिलना चाहिए था लेकिन अभी तक नहीं मिला, that term is called accrued interest. So what is that entry take place for accrued income? So we write here accrued income account debit to income account. Accrued income account debit, accrued income account debit to income account, being income due but not received, being income due but not received yet. Income due हो चुके लेकिन मिले नहीं. Now why take place? Why this entry take place like this? Accrued income is an income which is due but not received. It's an asset for us. Income due but not received is an asset for us. Whenever asset increases, whenever asset it's debited. Is it clear? And income is our, ठीक है, accrued income is our income, and whenever income increases, it will be credited. Rule of nominal. तो accrued income हमारे assets है, जब भी asset बढ़ती है वो डेबिट होता है, ये क्लियर है आपको? और इनकम क्या हमारे लिए, ठीक है, इसे इनकम फॉर अस, हमने नॉमिनल रूल में पढ़ा है, all the expenses are debited and all the incomes are credited. So means here we write accrued income account debited income account. Simple say, suppose accrued interest is here, we write accrued interest account debit to interest account. Accrued income interest account debit to interest account. We write narration being interest due but not received. Being interest due है लेकिन हमें receive नहीं हुआ, but not received yet. We write the amount over here, whatever the amount which is given in the question. तो accrued ठीक है, accrued rent here, तो we say accrued interest or accrued rent, whatever. Accrued interest is here, तो accrued interest is asset, because हमें income मिली नहीं, मिलना चाहिए था लेकिन अभी तक नहीं मिला, तो accrued interest is an asset for us. तो all assets are debited and interest is income, हमें मिलना है, Okay, all incomes are credited. Is it clear? तो अभी हमारे डेबिट एंड क्रेडिट बराबर आएंगे. तो this we done the fifth one, income due but not received. I hope this part is clear. Sixth one is transaction number 6. Note down please. Transaction number 6 is that income received in advance. Okay, income received in advance. Income received in advance. Income received in advance. Okay, income received. Opposite of that, income received in advance. The income which you already received. लेकिन आपने अभी तक काम नहीं किया है. आपने अभी तक काम नहीं किया है, आपको इनकम एडवांस में मिल गई है. That's why I call income received in advance. The work which is not done yet. आपने कोई अभी काम नहीं किया है लेकिन आपको इनकम एडवांस में मिल गई है. सपोज यू आर रनिंग अ होटल, आप पे पहली बुकिंग आ गई, तो वी गॉट वी कॉल इट, किसी ने टैरिफ्स पहले पे कर दिया, वी कॉल इट इनकम रिसीव एडवांस. अब ये बंदा नेक्स्ट मंथ रहने के लिए आएगा आपके होटल में, लेकिन आपको इनकम उसका टैरिफ जो है पहले ही मिल गया, तो वी कॉल इट इनकम रिसीव एडवांस. इससे किसी ने आपको गुड सप्लाई, अपने गुड सप्लाई करने थे लेकिन उसने आपको एडवांस पेमेंट पहले ही कर दी, तो दैट एडवांस पेमेंट वी कॉल इट इनकम रिसीव्ड इन एडवांस. द अदर नेम ऑफ income received in advance is unearned income. We also call, or the other name of income received in advance is unearned income. We call it unearned income. Which call it income received in advance means unearned income. वो income जो आपने अभी तक नहीं कमाई है. The income which is not earned by you. Is it clear? That term is called unearned income. Now, how will the transaction take place? Unearned income is applicable for anything. Any income you receive in advance. Oh, sorry, we call income received. Any income you receive rent earlier, you receive interest earlier, you receive salary in advance. Whatever the type of questions mentioned over here, so all the entry will be passed in the same way. So we write income account debit. Income account debit to unearned income account. To unearned income account means income account debit to unearned income account. Now unearned income, because you receive the income in advance, it's a liability for you. वो liability है business के लिए. अगर किसी ने आपको एडवांस पहले ही पे कर दिया है तो आपकी मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि अब आप उसका काम करोगे, आपको उसको गुड सप्लाई करोगे. इट्स अ मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. इज इट क्लियर? तो वेर इज मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, नाउ इट्स अ लायबिलिटी फॉर यू, बिकॉज आपको अब उसको गुड सप्लाई करने पड़ेंगे. इज इट क्लियर? तो द टर्म इज कॉल्ड अर्नड इनकम. द इनकम रिसीव्ड इन एडवांस इज अ लायबिलिटी फॉर यू. whenever we pay any expense in advance, it's an asset for us. Is it clear? So whenever we receive any income in advance, it's a liability for us. Or whenever liability increases, it's credited. जब भी कोई liability हमारी बढ़ती है, हम क्या बोलते हैं? Credited. तो we write here income account debit to unearned income account. Narration please write being income received in advance. Being income received in advance. Now suppose we receive salary, we receive advance salary, we receive salary in advance. Suppose instead of income they mention that we receive salary in advance. So what will be the entry? So we write salary account debit to unearned salary account. To, or we can, instead of unearned we can write salary received in advance account. Salary received in advance account. I told you income received in advance, the other name is also called unearned income. ठीक है, salary received in advance we also call unearned salary. Okay, so instead of we can write unearned salary account, or we can write salary received in advance account. The other name of salary received in advance account, we call it unearned salary, or we can simply call unearned income. Is the part is clear? Please note down. So it's applicable for anything. If you receive the rent, we can write rent account debit to rent received advance or the unearned rent account. For any purpose, if when we receive income received advance, we pass the entry like this. Because any income we receive advance is a liability for the business. कोई भी income जब हम advance में receive करते हैं, it's a liability for us. Moving on to the seventh part. The seventh one is okay, interest on capital. Seventh part is interest on capital. We write seventh part is interest on capital. Now interest on capital. Now you know that any businessman जब business शुरू करता है तो he put money in the business. Isn't it business में बड़ी he contributed the amount called capital. Now why he put amount on business? वो business में capital क्यों लगाता है? Because he want profit. वो क्या चाहता है? उसे profit हो. Whenever firm earns continuous amount of profit, जब भी firm profit earn करती है, his capital also increases. इसकी capital भी बढ़ेगी. Now why capital increases? Because owner बोलता है भाई, आप put the amount, ठीक है, आप put money in the business and that money you call it capital. भाई at the end of the year, how much my capital increases? मेरी capital कितनी बढ़ रही है? So that term is called interest on capital because he also get interest. He also get interest on his capital. Maybe depend on the market rate. Maybe 10%, maybe 15%, maybe 20%. Depend upon how much the business is earning profit. Business का position कैसा है? How much the business is earning profit in the market. So we interest. So that interest is an expense for business, but income for owner. Because उसकी capital बढ़ रही है. So ultimately, I told you before also, interest in capital, the net result will be zero. Why? Because interest जो है वो फर्म पे करती है अपने प्रॉफिट में से, फर्म पे कर रही है तो फर्म का प्रॉफिट कम हो रहा है, इज अ एक्सपेंस फॉर द फर्म. लेकिन बिजनेस की कैपिटल बढ़ रही है बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली दैट इंटरेस्ट इट्स इंक्रीज द कैपिटल. लेकिन बिजनेस की कैपिटल भी बढ़ रही है और ओनर की कैपिटल बढ़ रही है. द ओनर अगर उसकी कैपिटल बढ़ेगी दैट अमाउंट इज यूटिलाइजिंग इन बिजनेस ओनली, तो बिजनेस की कैपिटल बढ़ रही है. तो इफ यू सी द अल्टीमेट नेट रिजल्ट इज जीरो. हाउ द एंट्री टेक प्लेस ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल? तो वी राइट हियर interest on capital account debit, interest on capital account debit, interest on capital account debit to capital account. Now simply rule follow, being interest provided on capital, being interest provided on capital, being interest provided on capital, being interest provided on capital. Now what the rule take place? Understand term interest and capital expense for the firm because firm is paying out of their profit. firm कहाँ से पे कर रही है? प्रॉफिट से. ओके तो फर्म का प्रॉफिट कम हो रहा है, इट्स एक्सपेंस फॉर द फर्म. दैट्स व्हाई इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल अकाउंट डेबिट. all expenses are debited. Now but think that interest increases our capital because ये interest किस पे मिल रहा है? कैपिटल पे. एंड बिजनेस कैपिटल इंक्रीजेस, तो व्हेनेवर कैपिटल इंक्रीजेस इट विल बी क्रेडिटेड. जब भी हमारी कैपिटल बढ़ती है हम क्या करते हैं? वी पान क्रेडिटेड. आई होप दिस पार्ट इज क्लियर. बिजनेसमैन इज गेटिंग इंटरेस्ट ऑन हिज कैपिटल बट हु इज पेइंग? द फर्म इज पेइंग. ओके तो फर्म के लिए क्या है? खर्चा है बिकॉज फर्म इज पेइंग आउट ऑफ देयर पॉकेट. फर्म इज पेइंग आउट ऑफ देयर प्रॉफिट. तो फर्म का प्रॉफिट कम हो रहा है, इज एक्सपेंस फॉर द फर्म. दैट्स राइट. Interest on capital account debit, all expenses are debited, but the firm capital increases because ultimately जो interest मिल रहा है वो किस पे मिल रहा है? कैपिटल पे. and the capital is utilizing business only, तो firm की कैपिटल बढ़ रही है तो whenever capital increases is credited. that's why we say its net result is zero because हमारा प्रॉफिट कम हो रहा है but ultimately कैपिटल बढ़ रही है. is it clear? तो we write the interest provided on capital. so we write the narration being interest provided on capital. And the last part of adjusting entry is interest on drawing. Interest on drawing. The last adjusting entry, I told you there are total 8 adjusting entries are there. Next is interest on drawing. Now similarly, एक ओनर ने पैसा विड्रॉ कर लिया, जैसे भाई आई नीड दिस मनी, ठीक है, ही विड्रॉ 50,000 रुपीज, बिजनेस से 50,000 रुपीज विड्रॉ कर लिया, एंड से भाई आई कैन पे द मनी विद इन 6 months. Then the firm say, fine, you can pay the money within 6 months, but you have to pay this 50,000 along with interest, because हमने बिजनेस का मनी यूज किया है. इफ दिस 50,000 विद यूटिलाइज इन बिजनेस, हम इससे पैसा कमाते हैं, हम प्रॉफिट कमाते हैं, बट नाउ दिस 50,000 यू आर यूजिंग फॉर योर पर्सनल यूज, फॉर योर पर्सनल पर्पस. आपको जब ये पैसा लौटाओगे तो आपको ये पैसा विद इंटरेस्ट लौटाना पड़ेगा. दैट सम इज कॉल्ड इंटरेस्ट ऑन ड्रॉइंग. Whenever any proprietor, any owner withdraw their own money, withdraw the business money with your own for their personal use. जब भी एक proprietor business के पैसे को अपने personal use के लिए इस्तेमाल करता है, we call it drawing. And in that drawing he has to pay interest. The firm will charge interest. Firm क्या करेगी? Charge करती है interest. Is that clear? तो next concept of interest drawing, we write the entry. Drawing is expense. The entry take place. Drawing account debit to interest on drawing account. Drawing account debit to interest on drawing account. Drawing is the expense for the firm. So all expenses are debited and the firm is charging interest on the drawing. Firm charge कर रही है interest किस पे? Drawing पे. तो it's an income for the firm. Ultimately, same like interest in capital, net effect is zero because drawing is the expense for the firm. And the firm is charging interest on this thing. Interest drawing. तो firm के लिए interest charge करना क्या income है? Is that clear? तो all incomes are credited and drawing is an expense. All expenses are debited. So we write here being interest charge on drawing. So we write the narration being interest charge on drawing. Being interest charge होता है किस पे? Drawings पे. Is that clear? Amount will be written over here. So these are the certain 8 adjusting entries. We have done. Now check part. First thing, अभी तक हमने कितना किया? If we say note down the thing, closing stock. The first one is, I think this is the 8th one, interest line. First one is, if you check, first one is closing stock. Then we done outstanding expenses, whether for outstanding wages, outstanding salaries, outstanding interest, anything. Then we done prepaid. Then we done depreciation on machineries. Then for accrued income. 6th one is income received in advance. 7th is interest on capital. And the 8th one is interest on drawing. I hope this part is clear. You understand them? Is it clear? Now, after this thing, we move to next important part, ledgers, in which we again practice different type of question of journal entries and then how we prepare ledgers. This is an important part. Guys, please take care, work hard and stay tuned. Thank you.